Hey besties, welcome back. Today I'm so excited. We're gonna do this lovely you part. Isn't she everything? Is it giving natural girl tease? Like, this is my hair and that is what we was going for. And we're going to review and recap Harlem. So let's get straight to it. Isn't this beautiful? Look at it. It has been dyed jet black. So this is Kinky Straight, Get Glam'd hair. You can purchase her at getglamlux.com. I put my heart and soul into that place. But seriously, let's get into it. My hair is already braided, sectioned off. I had this on at a Christmas party. So my hair has already been sectioned off. As you can see. It's fuzzy, but has combs along the side and clips at the top. And while we install her, which is going to be quick, the bulk of this is going to be a review of Harlem, a show. It is an Amazon original. First of all, give it up to Amazon for like giving us the shows. You know, we had the show, I think it came out either earlier this year or late last year, Run the World. And it was cute. I watched it. I actually enjoyed it. My only gripe with Run the World was the episodes were too short. I don't know, you know, how to describe it. And I don't want to be disrespectful. But, you know, they seem like a reiteration, of course, of Sex and the City. It seems like a reiteration of Girlfriends, where you have the four friends and their trials and tribulations through life. So that was what Run the World was, because it's the four ladies in the city and they're, you know, following their life in love. And so when I saw Harlem with Meghann Good, I was like, do we need another one? I'm just putting the combs in, and I haven't snapped them yet because I want to make sure that they are in the correct place. This one can come forward a little bit, and I want to get it in there nice and tight. And I just press it down. This one is a little hard to press, so I'm gonna have to reach around. I'm just reaching in there. I'm scared I'm gonna break a nail. Then I'm going to slide this one up a little bit. Yeah, it's done. It's done. So yeah, after watching Run the World, and it was cute. Again, I watched that a while ago, so forgive me if I don't remember their names. I remember Brisha Webb. She was really cute. The main girl was gorgeous. She had like a low cut. I had never seen her before. And then, you know, you have the others that support the cast. It was the same thing, you know, four women dealing with love and trials and tribulations at work and being respected and viewed as women and won't. So when I saw the previews for this, I didn't know if I needed it, if I was gonna watch it. And so I had some time. And I started it, and I was really blown away. I was really blown away at how much I'm looking in the mirror, enjoyed it. So yeah, I want to talk about it. I would like to give it a proper review. Let me make sure this part is straight. I want to give it a proper review. So we're going to part it. Make sure we're covered. How does that look? Oh, it's giving. Real natural girl tease, you know? You want it to look like, it's just me. This is just a little bit of hair polisher to blend in my crunchies with this, and I'm gonna just flat iron it a little bit, do a little bit of eduluration, Oh, it feels so soft. So yes, back to Harlem. So yes, Harlem is the run-of-the-mill. You have the main hopeless romantic, and I will try to be spoiler free for the majority of this, and then I do want to talk spoilers, so I'll save that for the end for those who, you know, still haven't watched it yet. Starting the show, I had reservations because I just was like, you know, there's a brand, sorry, this is a caveat, there's a brand of, I feel like, especially when it comes to car commercials, and I call them like sister girl commercials. You know, you see the girls getting into the car and they put on their tunes and it's like, yes girl, we're driving. And it's like, I don't never like that. It feels like it's just very pandering, because I don't think that is the true representation of how I exist in my life. And that's what I kind of felt like these shows were giving, you know, like sister girl, black, and yes it is black girl, but I honestly felt like Sex and the City, while it was all white, and I guess most white content is just white people existing, you know, I feel like the things catered to black women is very conjured, you know. It just doesn't feel like a peek into real life. It feels like they're actors acting and talking. It does not, to me, ever feel authentic. So I guess in that kind of way, I kind of suspend, no blue, bye, disbelief a little bit. Even, you know, like I said, down to the clothes, down to the language they're using. I'm like, do we really talk like that? So that gives me apprehension when I see things created like this. I feel like, though, okay, the opposite of what I'm saying is Insecure, at least in the beginning. It felt like we were just watching this lady live her authentic, awkward, quirky life. It did not at all feel like produced, and it also doesn't feel like reality. I feel like that is what the shows of, you know, the 90s and the 2000s were. They didn't feel so, I guess, performed or contrived. And that's what gives me pause from watching shows like this. Insecure definitely broke the mold. Like, it really did. It was just, it felt honest and real. So yeah. Gorgina. I think this is like my first official review, and I was like, let's do it and do something else. Let's do it and a wig star. I just can't ever do nothing regular. Yeah, I'm just smoothing it out a little bit. Then I'm gonna do a little bit of adulation. My little hair is like, stop fucking stop flat ironing me today. A little bit of Shine Jam. So once we get into this, I could be serious. I could be serious about Miss Harlem. Love. Do we love it? We nice and covered. I love it. Little everyday slay. Real natural like. Woo! Okay, now I can really get into it. Harlem. What did I think? So, just a basic overview without trying to spoil it. You have 4 girls living, of course, in New York. And it is the run-of-the-mill hopeless romantic, followed by the prude, uppity girl. Then you have the sexually promiscuous, flamboyant one. And then you have the cynic. a la Sex and the City. I feel like those are the set in stone characters for all of these types of shows. As said before, I didn't know if I wanted to watch another one of those. I didn't know if I wanted to see, you know, another sister girl show. Like, because I would like to see authentic people be great and it not be so specific. That's just me. So I gave it a chance, and to my surprise, it was so good. It shocked me. I almost cussed. It shocked me because it was, even though it was a bit redundant in terms of the character and the story, it was wildly entertaining. It was funny. The comedy was great. Like, they actually have practical physical comedy where, you know, people are laughing, like falling. People are, you know, like that type of goofy sitcom-y comedy beats. So yeah, it was really good. You have Meghann Good. It was good to see her. It was really good to see her on the screen for a long period of time and it not just be movies. I feel like I haven't seen her in anything since Think Like a Man. She was actually in Shazam and I was surprised to see her in that. So it was good to see her. You have Grace from Empire. I think her name is, well, let me go back. Her name is Camille. She is the main character. She's our Carrie Bradshaw, the hopeless romantic. Then you have, in the resident Charlotte spot, we have Quinn. Quinn is her name. She's Grace from Empire. She's gorgeous. She's giving, you know, heiress to some black, I don't know what they do. I couldn't really tell what type of industry they're in, but she gave me Jack and Jill, product of that type of environment. In the resident promiscuous slut Samantha spot, we have, I don't know her name. I'm sorry to this girl. This is my first time seeing her. Her name was Angie, and Angie was great. She seems like a really talented actress. She seems like a great singer, and she's the flamboyant, sexually fluid, funny one. Loved her. And then you have the cynic and the Miranda role, the more serious, stern, corporate, again, cynic, and she's a lesbian, and her name was Ty. Ty, for me, on the show, was the best actress of all of them. She seemed the funniest, the quickest. She seemed really, really in her element. Like, she did it all seem rehearsed, or like, I don't know, she just was, to me, my favorite. So let's get into the fashions, because that was the issue for me. Again, when you have these Sex and the City-esque shows, the biggest part of Sex and the City was the fashion. Patricia Field, the designers, everybody had a specific, again, the archetype then goes to the clothes. So how are they going to do the clothes? No, it was okay. It was all right. It was all right. Again, it felt like they were trying really hard, especially for the Carrie character. I feel like Carrie Bradshaw has that quirky, high-end, low-end mix of patterns and textiles. You know, she's gonna give you a mohair fur with some, you know, maybe flowy chenille pleated something. Like, she's gonna give you a lot of stuff. She's gonna give you dots and plaid and stripes and some chunky shoes. Like, that was Carrie. So trying to recreate that, and if it doesn't come off as like effortlessly fly, then it kind of comes off as purposely homeless. And I think there was a fail for me for Meghann Good's character, Camille. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I wasn't a fan of it. Also, I'm of course in cosmetology, so I always look at the hair. Like, hair is where my eyes instantly go for any show, anything, at any time. And Meghann Good is giving us, you know, the faux locks. And they're okay. They're okay. I have nothing against faux locks. For film, it could get a little spacey in between. The color, I wasn't a fan of the color. I think they were like a maroon color. I would prefer a natural color just for filming purposes. And, you know, like, depending on your hair color, it then depends on what you wear. Okay, so if I had to rate it between 1 and 10, I would give Miss Camille a 5. I wasn't a fan of anything that she had on. It wasn't like I would see Carrie Bradshaw and be like, I want that. Let me go try to recreate it. Not for Miss Camille. Grace, the Charlotte York character. Again, Charlotte is going to give you Chanel vintage suits, women's wear, very conservative. You know, tea-length dresses, breakfast at Tiffany's. Again, this was a little miss for me. I can't even put my finger on the, well, okay, one episode she did have on a nice situation. It was like some white leg pants in another situation. It wasn't a standout. And then you have the Samantha character, and again, it's a no for me, dog. I think, you know, Miss Angie is giving us struggling artist, starving artist. She's, you know, she's a singer, she's an actress, she's doing all of these things, but she didn't have to look like it. Again, I still feel like there was a way to even give off a thrifted, vintage, dope vibe, and it was just all over the place. It was not good. It was not good. And then you have Ty, and for me too, besides Carry On, Sex and the City, Miranda was the best dressed. Like, I guess because she was a lawyer, she was corporate, she gave us suits, powerhouse, the structure, the colors, the patterns. For me, Miranda was it. The bob, the cut, the color, sickening. Ty was the best dressed, hands down. Ty was giving us masculine presenting. She reminds me of Lena Waithe. She gave me like a Lena Waithe vibe, where it's not an overpoweringly masculine stud vibe. She still had a feminine edge. She still had a soft edge. She's a gorgeous, beautiful woman. She almost, and I don't like doing this because I get it a lot, but she almost looks like Issa Rae a little bit, like just with the tone, the cut. And so she was giving us dope sneakers, dope peacoats, dope sweats, dope pants. Like, I would have wore everything that I like. She made me like, oh, that coat right there, let me go look it up. Ty, hands down, was the best right here. Oh yeah. So yeah, Ty was the best dressed. What's next? So, did I say a basic overview? Yeah, I mean, you get, it's the same thing over and over again. You have the hopeless romantic, and then you have her friends surrounded by her, and each of them kind of have a little hiccup in their lives, a little, you know, go from one point, reach your problem, is the problem going to be solved? Each of them have that going on. And I think what it does, I don't want to say it's not different than anything that we've seen. It is Girlfriends, it is Sex and the City, but I think each time we see a reiteration of it, it's kind of interesting to see what different writers will do with the characters or do with the situations. Yeah, okay, so then you have the love interests, and the main love interest to Camille, Meghann Good's character, is Ian. He's like an unrequited love lost, and baby, that man is beautiful. Jesus. He's so fine. He's so fine. I don't know. It was the beard. It was his clothes were everything. I think when a man is just dressed really well and they fit well, where it just fits just right, that just does something to my spirit. So I think we've seen him in P Valley. I can't think of his name. I think his name is Ty something. He's a beautiful being. And I liked him. It was something scruffy and gritty and real about him that I really liked. Then she has another love interest. I think his name was just somebody. I can't think of his name. I think I wrote it down. Jameson. And Jameson was cute. He ain't my type, but he was cute. I'm trying not to give spoilers, so I'm gonna go, you know. You do also have the gay best friend, the bi best friend. He was cute. He was, instead of, I guess, being connected to Carrie, he's connected to the Angie character. And yeah, it's a fun show. It's a fun ride. I'm gonna say stop here. I highly recommend that you watch this show. I think you're going to be thoroughly entertained. A few episodes, it took I'll say I didn't get into the groove of the show till like maybe the 3rd episode. You know, it kind of watched me, and I may have to go back, but by the 3rd episode I was locked in, and I was like, oh, this is good. Oh, they're going there. So I highly recommend it. It is a good time. The sets are beautiful. All of the set pieces where they shot, I mean, each of their apartments or where they lived, I loved how they expressed their style through their homes. That's always good to see. And it was dope. Like, it was really beautiful. For me, my favorite set is Grace's apartment. I mean, she has this bar, the archways, it's like this teal green color everywhere with hints of like a light salmon pink velvety chairs. It's really on point and current and trendy for now, but it's super feminine, super chic. Her apartment whenever they film there, I'm just like glued to the screen. It's so pretty. And in terms of representing New York, because it is called Harlem, right? They kind of get into a piece about gentrification, but it doesn't, you don't see much of the city, or I will say I don't see a connection to the city. I think even in Sex and the City, New York is also like a character on the show. You see New York in the wintertime. It's very much a part of the show. Here, not so much. I don't know, maybe because of COVID or whatever, but it also doesn't feel like these people have a connection to the city so much as I feel like Carrie loved New York, and over the course of all of those seasons, each of them loved New York, and it was a big piece of the show. It doesn't necessarily feel like that here. And again, I think it's interesting to use a word or use the actual, I guess, borough or of Harlem, and it's like, I don't know if it was trying to, did they use it because with the Harlem Renaissance, like while New York is United States gem, the Big Apple, is Harlem like the Big Apple for black people, like the Harlem Renaissance? I don't know, because they didn't speak a lot about that. I don't understand why Harlem and why not Brooklyn, or why not another borough, I don't know about that. Maybe we'll get that in the 2nd season. But it was entertaining. It's something to do. So I definitely think you should watch it. And spoilers now. Okay. Let's get into the gig. Let's get into the gig. For me. So also, there were some great cameos. I wasn't expecting. Honestly, I didn't do any type of research on this show. I didn't look it up. I just pressed play. So we get Whoopi Goldberg. She was good to see. And I mean, she's an EGOT. So there's that. She's perfection on screen. Absolute perfection. Like, I don't think she can do anything wrong. She's a natural. She's bomb. Whoopi was good. We also... So get this. We get the guy from Cousin Skeeter. Let me look up his name. Robert Richard. I don't know if y'all watched Cousin Skeeter in the 90s. I love that show. I loved that show. And when he popped up in the episode, y'all, he still looked good. Like, he shocked the hell out of me. I'm like, wow. Like, he is in impeccable shape. He is in impeccable shape. Like, when you haven't seen people for a long time, I don't know, Hollywood has a way of doing things to people, and I was really shocked to see he aged up all right, and he is like Not an ounce of body fat on that man. And he shows a lot. So, and it was really good to see him with Megan Good, because Megan Good was on Cousin Skeeter. So it's like, wow, y'all are back again. Back. That was like a huge nostalgia moment. And there was another lady on the show, the black woman from SVU. Sorry to this woman too, I wrote it down. Her name is Tamara Tawney. She was like one of the medic people on SVU. Gorgeous. She looks gorgeous. She's also on the show. And Bevy Smith. Bevy Smith is on the show. Fashion goddess, icon, and now actress. She was great comic relief when she came onto the screen. So my pros for the show is, again, the comedy. I wasn't expecting for it to be so funny. I wasn't expecting for there to be like practical comedy. Like there's a scene where this lady falls from the ceiling and it was like jaw-dropping, shocking, and funny as hell. I was like, oh my god. So there were a lot of moments of, I will say, like the Camille character. You know, for me, even then, this is a caveat. The Carrie Bradshaw character is a flawed, complex, complicated character. She is neurotic, overanalyzes everything, you know, again, the hopeless romantic, the Cinderella story waiting to be rescued in this great love. And it's like no love will ever compare to the fairy tale. So you find yourself, when you don't get the fairy tale, you're going to overanalyze your way out of it. And that was the crux of Carrie. She, again, ruined a lot of her relationships with her friends. She ruined a lot of relationships with her men. And I like that Carrie wasn't perfect, right? But then when you got to Joan, the iteration of Joan was overly neurotic and she took it too far. Joan was annoying to me. Joan was annoying. So now we have Camille. And I guess opposed to her being a writer, a columnist, here she's a professor, which, okay, that's cute. And same as, you know, with Sex and the City, it's always opening and closing with her writing the column. These kind of open and close with her lectures. And she's clumsy and she's quirky. Megan Good does an okay job. I think, you know, the longer she does it, the more relaxed she will seem. But yeah, so another positive. I talked about the clothes. They were decent. The sets were decent. Con. My biggest con for this is it's too close to Sex and the City. It's almost like they went episode for episode and literally took and pulled storylines directly from the show. And as someone who has seen every single Sex and the City episode, I didn't like it. I would rather be more creative with it. Like, yeah, we can have the 4 friends, but it doesn't have to be exactly the same. And it is. So when it comes to, of course, the main character and Carrie and Joan and this baby here, Miss Camille, they are self-absorbed. They are self-centered. The world always is spinning around them, and every situation is how it relates to them or how they can spin it. That's another piece with that character that is annoying. And here we have, just like Carrie, where there's Big and Aiden, here we have Ian and Jameson, and it is almost identical. And I didn't like it. You know, Ian is the big, suave, buff, sexy, elusive, you know, great love. And then you have Aiden, the second safe runner-up, the scruffy everyman. You have the big, dreamy, suave man versus the everyman, like Aiden. And again, it's down to shopping for furniture, shopping for, you know, doing certain things. You have the Big, you remember when Big got engaged to the model girl and it was the whole back and forth thing? Same thing here. Identical. That was a big no for me. I just was like, even down to like her trying to go to Paris and leave her friends behind and having these conversations. I'm just like, really? So we just gonna pull the Alexander Petrovsky whole thing? Like, I didn't like that. I still like the show, but that was just something that, you know, I like Sex and the City to be Sex and the City, and I would like Like, make something new. It doesn't have to be like, let's take Sex and the City, but make it black. And sure, maybe that's what they did with Living Single. Who cares? I'm talking about, like, we are more creative. We have the range to talk about so many things. Another kind. Yes, I get it that, you know, Camille is a professor and that these are smart black women, but it didn't feel regular. It felt very preachy. Grace was very, very, very preachy. Grace is the character where her mom pays for everything and she's trying to get from under her mom's, you know, money, even though the mom is on the husband's money. I think it was weird because it's like, if y'all come from money, I don't understand why you're trying to push this girl to not have money. Like, that I didn't understand that at all, because I feel like when you have famous families and wealthy families in the States, it's just like the kids you just continue to live because the estate is the estate. I didn't understand that, but Grace was very preachy, like very lectury, and I'm like, that dialogue did not come across as natural at all. And okay, so they tried to explore sexuality in an interesting way. I guess that could be a positive. So we have the lesbian character, which the more the merrier, right? Sure. And honestly, she is my favorite character. She is the most, to me, developed. She was the most fully realized. We got a lot of her backstory. We got a lot of how she came to be. So she's a black woman who owns an app in tech, and again, masculine presenting, but we see she lived another life once. And it was interesting to see the scene. There was a scene with her and she started dating another masculine presenting woman, when you don't always see that. And if it would work out, and I don't think it will work out regardless of any gender. So I don't think two masculine people fit together, and it didn't work. But that was interesting to see, down even to the sex scenes. I'm always interested to see. I don't watch a lot of gay porn. I don't watch porn at all. But it was interesting to see. And then we had Angie again. She's the starving artist, and she's all over the place. She's like Lynn. She's Lynn. She's Lynn. She's the, you know, sleeping on my friend's couch, mooching off my friends, all over the place. Lynn was the Samantha, the sexual, fluid, free. And Angie had an experience where, well, we get a guy, the gay best friend, who is, again, flamboyantly gay, but then he is bi, and I'm happy to see bi representation because we don't see a lot of it, so I don't want to pigeonhole this character, but we also don't know a lot about him. You know, Stanford, Carrie's gay best friend, now I think about it, they didn't explore him very well either. I don't think we ever saw Stanford's, like, backstory. We never saw where he came from. He just was an accessory. Okay. So that's problematic. Well, but this guy, he's bi, and they start having this sexual relationship. It was just very interesting. I never seen nothing like that before. Yeah, I have mixed thoughts on it because it's good to see, like, but I just couldn't relate to it because I didn't know, like, I mean, that's just like me having sex with my best friend Bruce, and Bruce, no honey, like, so yeah, that was weird and interesting. And then you had, I call her Grace, that's her real name, Quinn's character, again, the Charlotte York, which I guess she did that too a little bit, had an experience with a woman. You know, they kind of introduced her into exploring her sexuality a little bit more, and that's interesting to see as well. So overall, it's a great show. I think you should watch it. It was really good. It left off on a great, of course, big cliffhanger in a big way. I mean, by the end, even though I had seen it done before, it still was very good to watch. I mean, seeing beautiful black people on screen, I'll never get sick of it. I just want to encourage us to be a little bit more creative with our storytelling. That's all. Hope you enjoyed this review. I'm going to try to keep it shorter and concise and not ramble, but I had fun, besties. Let me know if you liked it. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It feels so weird saying that, but we need it. I need it. Please help me. I'm poor. No. No, please. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you later.